turn qualifying off for now. Oh dear. Hey, that's nice to see.
Oh, you got track limits on. Bitch!
Not used to them. Simplay, you can actually run the curves.
Yeah, no, that's right. Totally fucked. I was on a real good lap there, and I'll fuck it.
I like that about Simplay.
Just got to make sure you don't get the car right past that white line.
Lap invalidated and the next one.
Go into pits and come back out again.
Actually, no, I read it wrong. It wasn't. It was just lap invalidated. Oh, the Nuts has joined. He's alright.
Oh, why are you sending me a fucking invite now? I sent him an invite and now he's sending me an invite. Didn't know. At Keenan. Oh. Well, he just ruined my lap. Who's that? CMC.
Do you boys rather if I do commentating in another chat, or are you cool if I do it in here? I don't mind either way.
That's
You
right.
can do whatever you want to do, but if you want to make it
Alright, I'll stick.
quiet, I mean...
No, sorry, you can. It's background. It's if you, but team radio's background noise. It's always good if you wanna. You can talk as much as you like if you want.
Okay, we'll try not enough and blind, no worries.
As long as you're cool with me spouting my shit and distracting you while you're driving, that's fine.
Yeah, no, it might help with the ambience with our driving.
Good stuff. I will spout endless rubbish in this party chat and try not to put you off too much.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, next month, just come on. I know, I'm fucking just come on, pick up.
Oh no, he's lost it again! And any them hopes he had of the championship are now out of the window.
Completely, yeah, exactly. Say shit like that, you gotta do it, mate. It makes me all good.
Well,
What top speed you getting on the main straight before the corner, Nicky?
about 175.
Yeah, same here. Tweak the gear ratio slightly for the 6th gear. It's not getting anywhere near the top end.
A very well welcome then, ladies and gentlemen, to the Motive Racing YouTube channel. We are here for round 5 of the LMP2s at Suzuka, otherwise known as Suzuka, on this Project Cars 2 game for God knows what reason. I believe it's copyright. But currently got 11 drivers out on the track right now, 12 on your screen, but one of them is me. I'm not racing, I am commentating. I'm sat in the comfort of the commentary box here, ready to take you through the action tonight. We've got Richie sat on provisional pole position at the moment on a 1:30.1. We've seen a few times coming in throughout the course of practice tonight. A couple of 1:29s here and there by Champ and CMC. Richie currently top of the board, having not even done that yet, but up towards the line. Can he put a 1:29 on the board this time around? Let's see as Richie crosses the line. He can't for the time being. CMC in second, Champ third. Champ, the runaway leader in the championship so far this season. Championship standings not up to date on the Discord server at the moment, so any drivers regular in this series looking to the championship standings as a bit of a reference, do not take too much into those because they are not actually accurate to the present moment. But Champ is definitely leading the championship by quite some way. Comes into this one on the back of a very good string of results and looking to try and build on that this week. As we say, sat in third spot at the moment in this session, but I'm sure he'll be looking to put it on pole by the end of this session. Got Simon Turner in fourth at the moment, one of our regular reserves. So signed up full time for the touring cars as well on a Friday night for this season, for the remainder of this season. But we couldn't run the touring cars this Friday down to the fact that it was bonfire night, so there weren't many people around. But they will definitely be running that next Friday, so keep an eye out for that. Simon Turner signed up full time for that one as a regular reserve in a couple of our other leagues here on Project Cars 2 as well. Champ's gone pole, provisional pole there from Champ, 1:29.4, 7/10 clear of Richie. We've got X-Mart sat in the pits, currently in P5 at the moment in this qualifying session. JM Groh and Nicky both also sat in the pits in 6th and 7th. KLB Arzande in 8th place at the moment, 2.6 seconds off the pace. You've got the Mutts Nuts there in P9 as he's coming through the S's. Sebas in 10th in the pits at the moment. Fulek rounding out the classification in 11th place here, but great to have Fulek out on track. Jumping in as a very late stand in reserve tonight, so he hasn't had a whole lot of practice, he hasn't had an opportunity to really get up to speed, but he's very much risen to the occasion and is looking to try and give a good account of himself here on the channel tonight, as he's got somebody on a flying lap just behind him. Hopefully he doesn't cause too much of a to-do here. But CMC is coming through the Degner 1 at the moment. He's currently sat on a provision on the front row alongside Champ. These two the only drivers in the 1:29s at the moment in this session, so these two really are blazing a trail. Richie's in the pits, so he's not going to improve from there, that's for sure. Simon Turner's into the pits, P4 it looks like it's going to be for him. That's the most that he can expect from this session. Zande looks like he's done. I think that's he says he's on lap on the graphic, but he's definitely done. The Mutts Nuts is coming up towards 1:30 yard. Let's see what the Mutts Nuts can put on the board here. Mutts Nuts regular in our touring cars and GTEs on Fridays and Sundays, and he's coming in towards the final couple of corners now as we just saw him wipe out a cone there coming through 1:30 yard. Didn't appear to lose too much time due to it. He's running heavy fuel, is the Mutts Nuts, so he'll definitely be capable of going quicker than whatever he puts on the board this time around. But he crosses the line and he doesn't improve on his 1:32.9, so he stays in P9 for the time being. CMC up towards the line, will be the last man over the line. Can he dethrone Champ at the top of the leaderboard? Yes, he does. Wow, look at that. Brilliant lap from CMC. Goes to the top by 1/10 of a second. Champ is not going to have it all his own way this week. CMC seems to be on it. Richie will line up on the second row with Simon Turner alongside him. X-Mart in 5th with Jay and Gruel 6th. Nicky in 7th and KLB Alexander in 8th place with the Mutts Nuts and Fulek completing the top 10. Fulek managing to get himself ahead of Sebas there in the closing stages of that session. So there are your 11 drivers out on the track for round 5 of the LMP2s. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe to the Motive Racing channel. We're going to get underway very, very shortly. I'm sure I saw a comment.
I don't know how you do that, man.
What's that?
That coming through, though, you're just on it. I'm just like, what?
I don't even know, mate, to be honest.
Are you on 2 chats then? So what we're saying now is being streamed, or have you paused it?
Yeah, so they can hear you at the moment on the stream. Basically, it's like, yeah, you can basically we've also got X-Mart and Nicky in the commentary box with us at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. So
hello, everybody.
Hi, guys.
There they are. They're lining up in P5 and 7. hoping that Champ doesn't win this race, I'm sure. But we've got Champ lining up on the second row with CMC. We've got a couple of comments as well. Sebas saying who's in the championship. Pretty sure it's Champ. I can't imagine it's anyone else, to be fair.
Champ's dominating it.
Yeah, I think he's miles ahead, to be honest with you. Champ in.
Ben Parky's not in
this Ben Parky's not here, no, unfortunately not. Shame there, Ben Parky couldn't make it. It's got to work early in the morning, so had to miss this one out. I haven't seen Ben actually since the opening round at Hockenheim, I think. Oh no, we saw him at Spa as well. Saw him at Hockenheim, then Spa. Then we had to take a bit of a hiatus because just down to really bad luck. First, I couldn't make one Saturday, so we rescheduled. Then we just ended up on like about a 3-week run where we just couldn't do it for certain reasons, and then obviously returned last week at Road America, and we're back to reasonable service resumed, I'd say, by now. We've got 11 drivers out there at the moment. A couple of drivers, as we said, couldn't make it. DJ Phil, Ben Parky, and a couple of others, so we should have a full driver roster for these LMP2s now, but you're never going to get, you sometimes can get a full grid through reserves, but it's very rare that you actually do get the full 16 cars. There's usually a couple that can't make it, and missing 5 tonight. But you've got another comment coming in on the stream at the moment. Who was that? It's not showing up on my computer yet, which is a bit weird. It's showed up on my PlayStation stream but not on the computer, but here we go anyway. We're moments away from the start of the race here. Sprint race, first race of the evening. CMC on the left hand side with Champ alongside him, Richie and Simon Turner behind him. It looks like a great start there from Richie. Hopefully he didn't jump the start for his sake, but we're off and going now, and in the end I think CMC managed to wheel spin a little bit better there than Champ, and he's looking towards the outside, but Champ stuck the inside in towards turn 1 and managed to get us up into the lead there. Richie following them through. Simon Turner, there's JM Grill with Zande. X-Mart down to P7, not the best start for X-Mart, and we see Nicky there's round. Nicky's at the back of the pack. He's down to 11th there. I don't know what's happened to Nicky there. He's way off the back of the rest of the drivers in this race, but Champ leads ahead of Richie. CMC in 3rd, so Richie's got ahead of CMC. Zande in 4th. JM Grill's got ahead of Simon Turner, and Simon Turner's dropping down the field like a stone. The Mutts Nuts and Sebas both getting ahead of Simon. X-Mart has had 100% damage, we're hearing in the chat there. Don't know what's happened there to X-Mart. He must have had contact with somebody. He's missing a headlight. Rear-ended apparently in the first couple of corners, so X-Mart is already in the wars. Nicky obviously we saw going round in the first right-hander, so he's already in trouble in this race, and these guys are going to need to come into the pits and get that repaired and go again at some point over this course of this race. But Champ, CMC has Champ's got a big gap over CMC and Richie at the moment, but CMC and Richie separated by 6 tenths, and Zande's trying to hunt them down, staying on the back of them for the time being. Not sure who it was that inflicted the damage on X-Mart or Nicky so far, but hopefully we'll find out, and the stewards can deal with that one after the race.
He probably rear-ended me.
might have been those two crashing into each other, to be honest with you. We don't know.
Damage on the rear, so I don't know who it was.
It wasn't you then, because I've got 100% on the rear, so someone did. Anyway, we'll see. Sorry, Andy, carry on.
No, it could have been them two taking each other out for all we know. But we've got CMC currently running in 2nd place. Richie just behind. Zande pretty close. He's got the slipstream coming down the start finish straight. Can Zande go for the move into turn 1? No, he can't. Not for now. James Gould there in the background. The Mutts Nuts has got Simon Turner a couple of seconds behind him. These two running in 6th and 7th. But the Mutts Nuts has picked his way up into P6 over the course of this first lap and has just stayed out of trouble so far. Good driving from the Mutts Nuts as we see Sebas is in. X-Mart and Nicky are both also going to be coming into the pits at the end of this first lap. So not the ideal start at all to this evening for those two. Champ's already building up a lead. 4 seconds he's got over CMC. Zande ahead of Richie up into 3rd, so Zande has got himself onto the final podium spot. X-Mart's got a penalty there for speeding the pits, I think. So that's going to be a frustrating one. That's going to add insult to injury there for sure. But Champ is leading this race at the moment, and we've got Richie still trying to hassle the back of Zande, trying to get himself back into that fight for the podium spots if he can. The Mutts Nuts is on the back of Simon Turner as well. Let's run on board with the Mutts Nuts and see what he's seeing. He's got Simon Turner in the distance there. The sunset starting to loom here in the land of the rising sun. The sun's setting here. It's not rising, it's setting. So obviously the track will be getting the lighting will be getting slightly darker over the course of this race, but shouldn't be getting too much darker. Real time progression means that it won't be too much of a dissipation in terms of the actual sunlight, so we should be seeing reasonably well lit race for this one. But Zande and Richie still running within half a second of each other. CMC's just gapped these two a little bit over the course of this second lap, so CMC's now got a bit of breathing space, but he's still got a long way ahead in order to chase after Champ. That's looking like it might be a little bit of a step too far at this stage in the race. You've got Zande there running just about 3 tenths of a second ahead of Richie at this point, coming in towards turns 1 and 2. JM Gould there in P5 with Simon Turner. He's managed to gap to the mutts nuts a little bit over the course of this second lap here, just over a couple of seconds between those two at this point. Fulek there in 8th with Sebas there, 9th place here in this race. Exmart, having been into the pits, has emerged in P10 and he's a long way ahead of Nicky. Nicky looked like he must have gone for a lot more damage repairs than Exmart, because Nicky is a long way off the back of Exmart, as Exmart's just got one of the leaders coming through to put a lap on. I think that might be the Mutts Nuts maybe coming through, just about to put a lap on or well, actually I think Exmart might be able to pull away from him, but no, Exmart is pulling off. Is he? I don't know. I don't know if he's got the pace. He might have the pace to pull away from him, who knows, but Champ's still leading this race by 6 seconds, and CMC's continued to gap Zande, but Zande's managed to pull out quite a big gap here to Richie. Richie's now got heavy pressure from JM Gruhl coming into Spoon, as we see JM Gruhl really wide there coming through Spoon, takes one of the advertising hoardings with him, and that's just kind of dropped him out of that battle for 4th place for the time being. Not really too many battles going on. The race just kind of petered out a little bit over the course of this lap. Champ's still doing the business. He's completely run off over the course of the first part of this race and seems to have this one very much under his control for the time being. He'll be hoping that he can have a stress-free race and keep on doing the bits that he's been doing over the course of these first 3 laps. CMC there running in 6.5 seconds behind him in 2nd place, and they keeping not too far behind CMC, with Richie there in the background just coming into the turn 1 now. Has got a couple of seconds back to JM Gruhl, so JM Gruhl was closing up towards Spoon but then ran there wide a little bit, took some of the advertising hoardings with him and dropped him off at the back of Richie there, who's running in P4. And Richie obviously made the mistake a couple of laps before that, which dropped him out of the battle for the podium spots. But CMC continued to gap Zande, almost 2 seconds now between those two. Champ still has the lead and has pulled out to more than 7 seconds clear of CMC. JM Gruhl still trying to get onto the back of Richie if he can for 4th and 5th places. These two about 5-6 seconds clear of Simon Turner, who's got Nicky I think just behind him. So no, it isn't Nicky, it's actually Exmart behind Simon Turner. So these two having a bit of a battle. Obviously Simon Turner a lap ahead of Exmart, down to Exmart's damage at the start. Oh, they both ran wide there coming through Degner 1. Where's Exmart gone? Oh my god, there he comes. I just thought past the camera there. You look like you went under the cameraman there, Mark, but he's back on the track.
Couldn't see the apex because it was so dark.
It looked like you went under the cameraman, and then the cameraman just like shuffling around trying to no, he's going to run me over. But we got Champ still leading the race at the moment, 8.5 seconds he's got over CMC keeping the gap at around 2 seconds over Zande at this point. Richie's still got arm's length back to JM Gruhl not really making an impression on him at the moment. Simon Turner's picked up a penalty. I don't know what the penalty is, but that will obviously affect him once we get towards the end of the race. He's still got Exmart behind him. Those two seem to be pretty evenly matched for pace at the moment, but obviously Exmart, with the damage that he got at the start, a lap down on Simon, and I hope we'll be looking to the second race as a means of redemption here tonight. But at the moment Champ's still got an 8-second lead, still got a very sizable cushion, and is just pulling out that gap. And to be honest, he seems pretty comfortable out there here at Suzuka or Sakito or whatever you want to call it on the Project Cars 2 game. But to me it's always going to be Suzuka. But Champ just very much controlling this one. Championship leader, got a sizable gap in the points so far this season, has turned up to every race, which has helped him a lot in his championship campaign. But just aside from the fact that he's been here every race, he's also been extremely consistent. He's usually on the podium, and when he's not, it's usually down to external factors such as maybe being put in the wall or taken out of races, which doesn't happen very often. I'll haste to add, obviously here at Motive the drivers are very clean and it's generally very fair racing, but with full damage on in these LMP2s, it can be a bit of a recipe for disaster. So there is occasionally some to-dos out on track, but usually for the most part it's all very clean. But Champ's almost got a 10-second lead here out of the front to CMC. CMC still saying P2 has got 4 seconds back to Zande now, who in turn's got 5 seconds back to Richie, and Richie's pulled out 5 seconds to JM Gruhl. Simon Turner though, and the Mutts Nuts, oh no, that's not the Mutts Nuts, I apologise, it's Exmart, we already know that. But Simon Turner is only about 3 seconds behind JM Gruhl at the moment, so maybe Simon Turner could take this fight to JM Gruhl in a battle for 5th place if JM Gruhl makes another mistake. But obviously we've got to remember that Simon Turner's got that penalty for track limits, I would imagine. I guess that was what it's for, because that's usually what you get the smaller penalties for, especially when you haven't been in the pits. But at the moment CMC's just taking a little bit of a gap out of Champ over the course of this lap. It was about 9.6, it dipped to just under 9 seconds there. It's now 9.2. So CMC starting to find a bit of a rhythm. These two were very evenly matched in qualifying. CMC did actually put it on pole ahead of Champ in the dying knockings of the session, but Champ managed to get the jump and has not looked back since. Now maybe CMC finding a bit of a form that he had over the course of the qualifying session. But not a whole lot going on really out on track at the moment. It's kind of just settling down a little bit. We're seeing the pack pretty spread out. Champ still obviously driving a very consistent race, but CMC in second place, Zane in third, driving as a reserve tonight. We've got Richie in fourth, one of our regulars in the LMP2s, former LMP2 champion here in Motive as well a few seasons back. Always goes very strong in the higher downforce, much faster cars. So Richie's a man who we know has got the pedigree in these LMP2s, and is always there or thereabouts, but tonight seems to be struggling a little bit for whatever reason, not quite on the pace of Champ or CMC, and a little way off of that podium spot with Zande. He's got about 5 seconds back to JM Gould. JM Gould at points in this race has looked like he's taking the fight to Richie, but Richie's managed to put a bit of a cushion between those two for the time being. Simon Turner was closing on JM Gould. He's not anymore, as he's still got Xmart. In fact, Xmart's got ahead of him there. I'm just oh no, hold on. Oh no, sorry, no, sorry, that's somebody else. That's somebody else just in front.
At the moment, now this one.
Yeah, he's looking pretty close here, but Simon Turner is obviously in the thick of it here, and that's Sebas there. So that's Sebas and Xmart are both a lap down on either side of Simon Turner, who's running in P6, a lap ahead of these two, just to make it really confusing for us on the stream. It's this man here, Simon Turner, is in P6, and then you got Sebas here, who's in front of him in 9th, and Xmart behind Simon in 10th place. So at the moment, Xmart showing that he's very much got the pace of Simon Turner at the moment, but unfortunately down to the first lap skirmish that Xmart had into somebody tapped him in the rear coming up through towards the S's out of turn 1, and since then it's been an uphill battle, but Simon is doing a good job here of just not getting too worked up by having these back markers around him. Obviously they're more than a match for his pace, but you see Simon going a little bit wide coming through Spoon. Is that going to allow Xmart up the inside? No, not quite. Simon obviously is trying to put a lap on Sebas, but can't do it. Sebas showing that he has got the pace and he's got the talent in his LMP2 cars. Xmart's got a run here on Simon, but he won't want to throw too much caution to the wind.
Downforce, mate. I can't catch him.
Oh, he's got it. Oh, fair enough. So he's much quicker down the straights, and then in the corners, Xmart, you can see how much grip Xmart's got through the corners. But unfortunately for Xmart, it's just not really overtaking spots, and Simon Turner's keeping on to that. Simon's now looking to the outside, trying to put a lap here on Sebas, and Sebas gets well out of the way, lets him through, and manages to hold position on Xmart there. So Sebas very wily there. Oh no, that wasn't wily though. He's lost it coming through turn 1. Big slide there. Huge lock up as he's cut the tyres smoke all over the place there, and Xmart up into 9th place. Xmart did really well there, I've got to say. Hats off to you, mate. Yeah, you really did stand those on absolutely brilliantly there. Reacted perfectly to that difficult situation, and managed to get yourself out of that one in one piece. Hats off to you there. But we've got Zande running in 3rd place at the moment, with Richie just behind 2 seconds between these two. Richie's looking to try and close that gap and get himself back onto the podium if he can. Champ there running in the lead. He's got a 12-second gap at the moment over CMC, looking like he's got this one under control, as he has done since the start of this race, barring any major catastrophes. Simon's at the moment. Oh, what's happened to Simon soon? Oh, no. He's in the barriers there. Hopefully he can get it going again. Has he retired from the race? No, he hasn't. He's kept it going. Great stuff there, mate. As but unfortunately it's dropped him well off of well, he was already a little way off of JM Gould, but it's pretty much put an absolute definite nail in his chances of finishing in the top 5 in this sprint race here tonight. The Mutsnuts in the meantime running in 7th place has got Fulek 5 seconds behind him. The Mutsnuts had a difficult second part to this race, to be fair, not been the second half of the race after he had a very promising start to it. We've got Xmart there running still just ahead of Sebas right now, 2 seconds between these two. Nicky a further 13 seconds back in P11 due to that first lap incident that we saw. Those two, Xmart and Nicky, very quick in these LMP2 cars, and I'm sure we'll be seeing them coming on strong in race 2, looking to try and right the wrongs of this first race. Champ still leads here on lap 9, coming in towards the closing stage of this sprint race, and Champ has absolutely bossed this one so far. Richie's still on the back of Zande, still trying to get himself into the podium spot if he can. He's within a second here, but you lose a lot of downforce in these LMP2s, just down to how downforcey they are, and obviously the dirty air can play absolute havoc with the front end grip, as we see Zanday going wide, but Richie can't capitalise on it for the time being. Into Degner 1 they come. The lights on for Richie, trying to get into the head of Zanday, trying to distract him if he can. But at the moment Zanday's keeping onto it, and we just hear reports Sebas has lost it as well. So Exmar up into 9th place, and can Nicky try and get Sebas here? Sebas is going to drop way down, but he does hold on for P10 for the final top 10 spot there ahead of Nicky 4 now. Going a little bit wide there though, Sebas. I don't know if he's got damage on the car, because Nicky is now really reeling him in as they're coming through the middle sector here into Degner 1. Yeah, look, Sebas is absolutely twitching all over the place. He might be easy pickings here for Nicky. Nicky could be getting himself into the top 10 here after a difficult start to the race. Riding on board with the cockpit can of Nicky at the moment, ahead of Team Prolapse, co-founder of Team Prolapse, looking to get himself into P10 as Simon turning into the pits to get that damage repaired. He's coming out of the pits already, so he's got that done and is now ready to unleash his car out onto the track once again. Nicky there, still running in just behind Sebas at the moment, coming down this long straight which leads up towards 130R. And Richie's got ahead of sorry, no, he hasn't got ahead of Zanday. Richie's still behind Zanday, and it's still got JM Gruhl really close on him now, so Richie's dropped way off of Zanday as we see JM Gruhl really wide coming through the first corner, and just giving Richie a little bit of breathing space there, as it was looking as though JM Gruhl was piling the pressure on Richie, but he holds on for that one. Nicky's still in the slipstream of Sebas down the start finish straight they come. What's Nicky going to be able to do here? He's not quite close enough to make the move coming into turn 1. Does Sebas outbrake himself? No, he doesn't. Keeps it very calm and collected there and holding on to P10. JM Gruhl and Zanday, and oh, what's happened to Zanday on the in the closing stage of this race with 2.5 laps left to go? Zanday's binned it somewhere. He's down to P5. That's promoted Richie up into 3rd, Jay up into 4th place, and Zanday losing 2 positions. What a shame there for Zanday. In fact, no, hold on, what's happening there? Okay, there's a bit of lag there, but Zanday is running in 5th place, unmistakably behind JM Gruhl. Richie though into the podium spots. Really good drive from Richie. Difficult start, to be fair. He dropped down to 4th, but since then he's just kept on going, kept his head down, and now looks like he might be able to finish in 3rd. Sebas is what's happened to Sebas there? Sebas is just he's lost out to Nicky. Nicky's up into P9. We've lost a driver, and I'm just trying to work out who. Oh, Mutsnuts. Mutsnuts has retired from the race, so that's a real shame, obviously, for the Mutsnuts, as he's now out of this one prematurely. But Nicky there up into 9th place, great stuff. And what has happened to Champ? Where is... Oh no, Champ has lost it, the race leader. No way, you could not write it here on the Motive Racing channel. Champ loses it out of the final corner. He's got terminal damage on that car. This is unprecedented. He had the win completely and utterly under his control. He looked like he was destroying the field out of the front. He had no answer to him whatsoever. Champ has crashed out of the lead here, and CMC up into the lead of the race will be feeling like his Christmas has come early. Richie into 2nd, JM Gruhl onto the podium, and Zanday was on the podium, was then down to 5th after that, is now back up into 4th and could potentially be in sight with the podium once again. But CMC has been thrown the win here, and Champ, I've never seen anything quite like it. Champ had this win completely and utterly on a plate. All he had to do was bring it around the last couple of laps. He's crashed out of the lead, and Champ says he was taken out by lapped traffic. Oh no. Oh no, I really hope not.
Unlucky Champ.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been unlucky. Yeah, it was just flying. I thought he had it in the bag, to be honest.
Oh, a couple of cars on the spoon, fucking, oh, excuse me. Sussly.
That's Prolapse oil.
Sorry, viewers.
Mate, I'm gutted for Champ there. I really am gutted for Champ.
Unlucky, mate. Unlucky Champ.
I mean, to get terminal damage like that must have been a pretty hefty hit.
Big one, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Well,
I don't know.
Race.
If you can DM that to me right now, Champ, so I can just take a look at that. Just DM it to me on Discord now if you can, mate. Please. It might be something we need to take action on now rather than leave to later. Yeah. I don't know. JM Gruhl and Zanday both in the pits here at the end of lap 11. Not sure why. Must be damage.
I don't know, they're both spun. I really had to take drastic action to avoid them. We've got a 2nd penalty for going off track, for going around them, but that's life. Zanday's just left. Race quit.
Yep, Sandy out of the race. Champ there says he got turned and pile drived into the pit entry barrier.
Oh man.
Managed to get him into 5th.
CMC comes over the line though, takes the win here in the sprint race. What a drive from CMC. Brilliant stuff there tonight at Suzuka.
10 seconds is not going to help me.
Obviously with Champ crashing out of the race, being taken out presumably, we've heard on the comments there, Champ got put into the wall, so there may have to be a bit of a stewards inquiry there. Don't think it was intention, but still. Richie over the line, 2nd place for him. JM Gould, long way behind, will still finish on the podium here in this one. Simon Turner, Fulek, Exmart and Nicky have all finished. The Mutts Nuts has quit, as has Sunday. As we see Nicky there crossing the line to take 7th place here in this race. JM Gould will be the last man to finish as he's coming through Spoon.
Well, that was a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got back into it after the repair. I was not happy about whoever hit me from behind. I wouldn't mind.
Champ was live streaming. Champ was actually live streaming.
You're not live streaming?
No, Champ was live streaming. Just watching Champ's stream now. Yeah, it's a back marker there getting involved.
Yeah, I think sometimes back markers, you've got to move out of the way. Unlucky for Champ.
Blue flag rules on this, right? Is that right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you ignore them and nothing happens, then fine. But if you ignore them and shit happens, then you're accountable.
Yeah.
It's one of them.
Can you save, Nicky? Can you save?
Yeah.
I can't save. I haven't got any space because I wouldn't mind seeing you hitting it from behind.
Yeah, I've got it.
I'm just gonna go to race control and make some space, Andy. I'm not going anywhere, right?
No worries, mate. I'll shoot you the invite again.
Yeah.
Well, unlucky Champ, but well done to CMC and Richie and who come third? I didn't see it then.
JM Gould.
Nice.
Let's get Zando back in. Solid.
Same lobby, Andy. I'll choose the old invite.
Yeah, same one, mate. Same one.
Yeah.
Look, BT's on. See if we can get him in now.
Hey, there he is. BT's in.
That's what I'm going to do. Just get him in the commentary. Hello, guys. Proper nice fella, old Paul.
He's sound bloke. He always messages me after the races. Hey, you alright, BT?
Hello, mate. All right.
Alright?
You're live on air, mate. You're
You
live.
are. It's alright, you can swear as much as you want, no one cares about professionalism. There's only two people watching anyway, it doesn't matter. You can say fuck, shit, wank or whatever you want, doesn't matter.
Don't say fuck or bugger.
If you pick the Nissan, Paul,
Yeah.
one of us can send you a setup. Mark's going to set up a quick one.
JSP2 Nissan. That one.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you one, mate. Ligier. So, Andy, if we can get started at ASAP,
Yes,
for obvious
yes,
reasons.
yes. Pit stop, 16 laps, slightly longer. Still about, I think it'll be about a 25-30 minute race, something like that.
Right, stop. Man, there's two pit stop there.
Yeah.
I'm going to start at the back. Was that a subtle hint now? But I don't get taken out this time.
You can't get hit in the back if you're last, can
Taken
you?
out, Paul.
Oh, okay. Is this
The
down
first
at full
corner.
damage?
First full damage,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I may even not go for the quali and just sort of see how it all pans out.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start the back.
It's not going to lose you too much.
No,
It's all going to go off.
Get up through the grid.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it all pan out because I don't want that to happen again, unfortunately.
It's going to be like race 2 at Simplay. It's just going to be like, it doesn't matter where you, doesn't matter if you start last or 8th or whatever, like it's all going to get shuffled.
Yeah.
Oh dear. At least fireworks calmed down now.
Oh god. It's so annoying. I had my headphones on, I could still hear them popping off.
Yeah.
I can hear the ground vibrating, all that shit. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
Right. How many laps is this race? 19.
16, I think.
Yeah. Can't remember now.
Mandatory pit stop as well.
16, yeah.
Right, I'll send you this over, Paul. You ready?
Oh yeah, cheers, mate.
Sure. There you go, buddy. Should be
Oh, nice one.
You're going to hear Murray Walker in a minute as well, Paul. It's great.
No walking.
Yeah, it's quite. I'll tell you what, that was really cool. Like you could hear what was going on around us. It was quite funny.
That was really good, actually. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Do you know what, when I first started doing comms, it was always in the game chat. In like the first league that I ever did, Rubbings Racing, the commentator would always do it in the game chat. And then when Motive started up, because we always had full grids, we couldn't have the commentator in the game chat anymore, so we just started doing it in party. But like back when I first started doing comms, it was always public.
We was doing that open lobby. I got you to commentate in that. That's quite cool.
Yeah, if you ever doing a public lobby and you want to liven it up a bit, just give me a shout, because I'm always looking to try and get a few new clean drivers in. So yeah, so if you're running something,
as well, didn't it? We got quite a few people that night.
that's the main like source of actually getting people in. That was always the thing. It's if I just jump into a public lobby and do some comms, people would just like, oh, I want some of that.
Yeah, that's right. Scouting.
Yeah, talent spotting and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've gone. We're not recruiting at the moment. We've gone on a quiet one.
You're just staying on the down low for the time
Yeah, we've
being.
got enough top drivers in pro laps at the moment.
Yeah, of course. I mean, look, if people want to join Prolapse, they need to come to you ultimately.
That's it. Yeah.
You're on that pedestal now where people have to approach you. They have to be like, how do I go about joining this organisation?
Organisation, make it sound like a PLC.
Yeah. Well, first they have to come through me, Mark, Ben, blah blah blah. Then we put them onto Maze. Maze is the pro laps.
Maze is our filter. He's our filter.
Then obviously they have to go through the Team Prolapse HR department, and then they get handed their numbers, their liveries, their little packs and contracts and stuff.
Maze has done a really good job with it. I've got to give a good big up to Maze. He's done really well with it. He's really enjoyed it as well, so it's all good. Right.
Water.
It's a lot cleaner now as well, from what I've seen.
Well, we've got him and Fury as well. We've got him up to
Fury.
speed as well. You know?
Fury's improvement has been meteoric, man. Honestly.
Yeah, he's amazing. What the way he drives now.
I think we've got quite a few drivers up on top podiums now. We've helped them out with everything, and now they're quicker than us.
Oh mate, on Thursday night I was having a great battle with Fury as older. We went all the way down to the last lap. In the dry we were battling, and then when it rained, the rain just monumentally screwed both of us, because we were battling over the win, and then BT bloody goes and pits when it's already started raining, so then he goes and takes the win and drops us down to 3rd and 4th. But we had an amazing battle.
That was close, genuine, and it was fair as well, wasn't it? It wasn't.
Yeah, he did. He spun me round, but then waited for me. It only cost us about 5 seconds or so, but we didn't drop us any positions. We were just having a scrap, really. I mean, it was it was wet. It was one of them where it started dry and it turned to wet. So there were wet patches, but it wasn't fully wet, which is actually the hardest kind of wet racing, in my opinion. When it's wet in patches, but it's not all wet, that's the hardest conditions to drive in.
It's
And
puddles when it
it got messy.
that second corner puddle, the long corner with the lines of the puddles. Did you have that, Andy? With the lines. There's the sort of like lines, and the steering wheel was going. It's like speed bumps.
Yeah, no, basically you just have to throw it in and hope that it sticks. And if it doesn't, you just have to react to the situation. You can't you can't forecast it. You can't drive through the corner and try and go slower or try and take an alternate line. You've just got to like go balls to the wall and just hope. There's nothing else you can really do.
That didn't work for me. I took it easy. It was like driving Miss Daisy around that corner.
For me, I just throw it in and just close my eyes and hope.
Right, I'm officially right at the very back, which is good for me.
Yeah, I'm hoping JMG gets a thingy. Gets a bit of that. BT, he's out there.
He's already doing the business. What have you got there, Paul? What did you get?
Mate.
Yeah, it's not a bad setup, is it? Yeah.
No, it's alright.
It's one of those concoctions from Ben Parker that has come down, been passed through the ages, like
It's not fine wine.
A lot of zub-zubbing going on.
Zub-zubbing. Yeah, we do like a parky setup.
Yeah, we've got to know them and love them over time. Originally, when Nicky and I were taking Ben's setups in LMP2 or FR35,
God.
You're just like, what the bloody hell is this?
We're just like, this thing was like uncontrollable. Now we've got to, it's like a fine wine,
I bet he goes for the really sensitive stuff, the stuff that's all over the place.
Oh, he likes short gear ratios as well, doesn't he? It's like bang, 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 and then the last gear just aims it. Yeah, it's crazy, but
literally bang, 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 exactly.
Has he been racing in this, has he, lately?
nah, he's been, because he's got that new job, hasn't he? So he works 4 on 4 off. So he's working this weekend. He's got to get up tomorrow morning early. Either that or he's making babies. Love you, Ben.
Oh, yeah, if you're listening, Ben.
To be fair, there's not many people watching, so it's probably not.
Everyone's had fireworks, isn't they? It's trouble.
Yeah.
Nah, to be fair, I don't think people who are raced might watch it afterwards. That's pretty much it. To be fair.
Yeah.
I just commentate so the people who race can watch it back afterwards.
Yeah.
I always watch races back after. It's brilliant.
Yeah, so do I.
That's the point of the stream, really. So the drivers can watch it after.
I was on the monitor then. Who was that? Just dropped it. I'm watching.
That was
No,
Travin.
it weren't you.
Travin.
No, it's STA. Who's STA
Stage.
in 8th?
Stage GT.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, the camera was right there, and it come right up close to the camera. How's CMC doing?
He's not really set up on that though.
Yeah, they'll last, mate. No worries.
Look at that CMC up into P7.
You know what BT's like with rubber though?
Yeah. In more ways than one.
Yeah.
Sebas has got a one-place grid penalty. Must have cut the pit exit line or something. He's got close to champ though. Half a second. Not too bad. Richie running in third. BT jumping straight into the low 131s. Lovely stuff. Got a couple more runs in him yet. Got this one and another one. I think this is an out lap though, unless he made a mistake on this particular lap. 1.4 seconds down on this one. We've got Simon Turner up towards the line. What can he do? Can he get into 130s? He does improve, but doesn't get into 130s yet. 131.4 for him. Much nuts, Nicky. Xmart in the pits. We know Nicky and Xmart want to start from the back for this one. Want to.
Scared.
And the logic behind this is that you can't get hit in the back if you're last. JR saying, "Give us a smile, Andy." Yeah, well, you can't see me, so wouldn't be much point in that.
I'm sure he's smiling away.
Oh, Champ's gone quicker. Look at that, 29.2 from Champ.
Wow.
Wow. some lap there.
That is quick, yeah.
CMC gets within 1.2 seconds, but ultimately for the current qualifying leader, Champ seems to be a bit of a class of his own here, but we know CMC can get close. Did a 1:29.3 in the first qualifying session. But JM Gruhl, Fulek, Stage all out there. Traven as well. What can Traven put on the board?
Top 5's quite, here goes hiccups. This top 5 quite close.
Sebastian Champ is flying, yeah he is, but to be fair we saw CMC get within that region. Oh, Sebastian's disconnected.
I was going to say someone just disappeared there. He can get back in if he's quick enough.
He's very quick.
Smiles equals positive energy, says JR. That is very true. But in order to smile, you need positive energy in the first place. It doesn't work the other way. That's just my opinion, though. Don't want to get deep. But Champ is coming in towards the final couple of corners anyway. Let's see if he can improve his time as he's got his foot to the floor. Sebas is gutted about that one in the comments there. Says no. Up towards the line comes Champ.
Unlucky Sebas, you were driving well in the sprint.
Yeah, it's gutting stuff. We see Champ there improves his lap to a 29.0. CMC not able to replicate his form of the first qualifying yet. Can he improve here? Up towards the line he comes, and no, he doesn't replicate that form from the first session. So it's going to be Champ on pole by 1.4 seconds here. But we must remember, although it looks like the gap's pretty substantial between Champ and CMC, CMC did a 29.3 in the first session, so we know he's got the pace to challenge Champ in this one. Champ and CMC on the front row with Richie and BT Targa behind them. Simon Turner and JM Gruhl. Then Fulek, Stage GT. The Mutts Nuts and Traven in 9th and 10th. Nicky, X-Mart at the back. And Andy isn't racing for this one. Sebastian doesn't let you win. Yeah, it doesn't let you win past the 3-minute mark, mate. Unfortunately. Sorry about that. I would suggest a restart in normal circumstances, but we're a bit tight for time tonight. It's nearly 10 o'clock. So I'm sorry about that, mate.
Yeah, your radio is open.
30% would be enough, mate.
Yeah.
Or 40.
Pit strategy. I'm sure you've got pit strategy.
Yeah.
What, couple of laps more?
Yeah, as usual, mate.
So that everybody keeps it clean into turn one, everybody watches out for each other. It's quite a fast first corner, so shouldn't be too much of a recipe for disaster. Generally, by the time you get to the second, I suppose it's all one turn really, but once you get to like that second right-hander in that first turn, you kind of usually reasonably spread out, so hopefully there won't be any thrills and spills. But in the first race we saw a little bit of a argy-bargy going on, and for that reason Nicky and X-Mart opted to start it for the back for this one. But BT right in the thick of it behind Champ, CMC and Richie. Simon Turner and JM Gruhl looking like they're in probably the worst seats in the house, if I'm honest, for this start. Right in the middle of the pack. Fulek and Stage must be absolutely pooing their pants, sat where they are right there.
Well, my predictions is Richie's going to get a good start. He seems to be really good on the start.
Richie, yeah, I think he might be on it. But he's on the second row though, so he's got to sort of squeeze in between them, which might be a bit of a challenge.
I'll probably jinx him now. Sorry, Richie.
There we go.
Not going to make any predictions here, guys. I'm just going to commentate on the race and call it as it goes on. But here we go. We're moments away from lights out for the second race of the evening for the LMP2s. Feature race, round 5 here at Suzuka. And it's lights out and away we go. Predictably a great start from Richie, but nowhere to go. Champ immediately covers it off and looks towards the inside as he tries to cover CMC off. CMC down the inside, but Champ's going to hold it around the outside into turn 1. CMC and P2. Richie, JM Gruhl there side by side with BT as BT gets pushed out by JM Gruhl. JM Gruhl up into 4th place there. Simon Turner down to P6. Got Stage GT. The Mutts Nuts in 8th place with Fulek, X-Mart, Nicky and Traven down to back of the pack. Not a great start there from Traven, but Champ leads away and looking to try and right the wrongs of the first race. Oh no! As we see JM Gruhl's wide onto the gravel, and let's hope he keeps speeding away out of the oncoming traffic there as the whole pack comes through ahead of him there. JM Gruhl down to the back here, down to 12th place. Disaster of a start here for JM Gruhl. Champ leads ahead of CMC. Richie in third with BT. Simon Turner there going a little bit out. No, that wasn't Simon Turner out wide. That was Stage GT out wide there, just ahead of Fulek. Xmart and Nicky unable to get ahead of either of those two for the time being, but they're ahead of JM Gruhl and Traven as Traven gets ahead of JM Gruhl, but JM Gruhl gets back ahead of him into Degna 2 there. But those two having a bit of a to-do. Champ, CMC, 1.1 seconds between those two. Champ already building out a bit of a gap. Richie there's got BT Targa not too far behind him. Simon Turner keeping to the back of this pack for the podium battle at the moment. The Nuts there in 6th with Stage GT, Fulek. There's Xmart and Nicky in the background there coming up towards these guys in towards Spoon as we've got Traven there in the background in 11th place, and JM Gruhl, a horrible first lap for him. Might have a bit of damage on that car as well to boot. CMC though 1.7 seconds behind Champ already. Richie has got a bit of a gap back to BT. Simon Turner keeping those guys on their toes at the moment. The Nuts, Stage GT, Fulek. Xmart is looking towards the inside. Sorry, he's got looking to the inside of Fulek here. Can't get the move done at the moment. Fulek holding on for that 8th place. We've got JR saying Champ can only beat himself tonight, it seems. Oh no, Fulek's wide. Fulek wide out the final corner onto the gravel there. He's lost out completely there. Xmart and Nicky up into 7th and 8th places respectively, a couple of seconds behind Stage as we lost a driver here. I don't know.
Got disconnected.
Oh, BT's lost. Oh, BT's out of the race. What a shame. BT Targa was up there at the sharp end in this race, but it's all gone wrong. It looks like his internet shut down because he's disconnected off a PlayStation as well. So somebody's turned off BT Targa's internet here. But CMC running in 2nd place, 1.8 behind Champ. We got Richie there, just under 4 seconds off for the race leader. Simon Turner is dropping off at the back of Richie. As the Nuts is not too far off at the back of Simon Turner, but Simon Turner's got a reasonable enough gap back to him at the moment. Stage GT is a couple of seconds behind the Nuts as we've got Xmart trying to hassle the back of Stage GT and get himself up into 6th place if he can. Xmart's gapped Nicky a little bit, just over a second between those two. Traven, JM Gruhl and Fulek completing the classification at the moment as we're on lap 2 of this race.
Window open?
Anytime, mate, anytime you want. As Champ still leads by 2.6 seconds at the moment ahead of CMC. The gap at the front is kind of building between all the drivers. As we see Stage has lost it coming through Spoon, and that's Xmart and Nicky up ahead of him, and Stage is going to lose out here to Traven and possibly JM Gruhl as well. As we see Traven there on the exit of Spoon, a big flash of the lights there from somebody, not sure why. JR asking if Champ's on hard tyres. That doesn't say on my screen, it says he's on the softs. To be fair, I think it's too cold for hard tyres. I couldn't imagine anybody making them work at this temperatures, but you just never know with Champ. He's one of those guys who can just, he seems to be a bit of a master at a lot of things on this game. But Simon Turner's running in 4th place. As we see Richie loses it. Richie gets a big bit of smoke there as he locks up coming through the first corner, and he's dropped down to P5 as he resets the car. The Nuts up into 4th place and Simon Turner onto the podium. Richie's had a big moment, and now Xmart is very much on the back of Richie here in this fight for 5th place. But Richie will be frustrated with that one as he's running in a good position before that one. As you see Nicky there going a little bit wide into the second part of the S's there, but he's trying to keep tabs with Richie and Xmart if he can. JM Gruhl is within a second of Stage GT as he's trying to fight back here in this race. The gap at the front between Champ and CMC just under 4 seconds.
Go.
Xmart there getting the move. Is still ahead of Xmart. Sorry, Xmart's still ahead of Xmart. Xmart's still ahead of Nicky there in 6th place. Nicky though almost made the move. It sounded like there was a bit of a skirmish between the two of them, but they're keeping it clean and looks like there's not any damage on those cars for the time being. Traven in the pits at the end of lap 2, so he's making that mandatory pit stop nice and early, getting it done and out of the way. Good to see, as obviously if you don't get it done out of the way, then you've got it to worry about later on in the race. But we see there we've got Nicky around the outside of Xmart coming through Spoon. Is he going to complete that move? What a move there from Nicky! Oh my goodness!
On the outside.
Won't he have an overtake around the outside of Spoon? He pulled that off brilliantly on the dirty line of the track where there's less grip. The marbles definitely do play havoc with your tyres around that part of the track, but Nicky's made it work into 6th place, and Xmart, to be fair, gave him the space on the outside. What an overtake there from Nicky. JR in the comments. Always good to have JR in the comments here. Doesn't race on Project Cars 2 anymore. Used to race on here a lot, but he's races on ACC nowadays. Some OG drivers out there tonight, absolutely. We've got Champ, CMC, obviously we've got Prolapse boys, we've got Nicky and Xmart, we've got in terms of OGs, I mean there's a lot of drivers here who raced in Rubbings Racing. I can see already. We've got Champ, you got Richie, actually you know what, oh yeah, Traven as well. So those three all raced in Rubbings Racing back in the day. But we got Champ just absolutely blitzing it at the moment, almost 5 seconds of a gap here to CMC. Xmart in the pits, as is Traven. Obviously those two making their mandatory pit stops nice and early. BT says, well, that was weird as the stream stayed on using Wi-Fi. Maybe it's the Ethernet, I don't know. Must be, maybe, are you on Ethernet on the PlayStation, BT?
Yes.
It must be the wire connection, something to do with the wire connections packed it in. Yeah, JR saying Xmart, Traven, etc. Xmart wasn't here for Rubbings Racing, were you, mate?
No, I wasn't.
No, Xmart wasn't here for Rubbings Racing, but Champ was. CMC was a sporadic appearance maker at Rubbings. Richie and Traven, I believe, they were the ones who were Rubbings back in the day. But Champ dipping into the 129s, look at that, in the race with almost a full tank of fuel. That is nothing short of superb there from Champ. He's done a 29.6 on that last lap, so he's improved by 3/10 on lap 4 and is continuing to absolutely dominate this race as he did in the first race. He'll be hoping he doesn't get caught up by any back markers over the course of this one. His undoing in the first race, the Mutts Nuts, is currently running in a healthy 4th place and seems to be doing some good pace here in this second race, so he doesn't appear to be in a position where he's going to end up being lapped in this one, but who knows, a bit of damage could change that very quickly. But at the moment he seems to have more than good enough pace to stay pretty close to the leaders here in this one. He's only 3 seconds off of a podium, so a much better race this time around for the Mutts Nuts. BT says gutted, was enjoying that. Come on you prolaps boys. Well, currently prolaps, we got Nicky sat in P6, we got Xmart having made his stop. We've got to remember, down in P10, that was my phone telling me it's bedtime. Not quite yet, guys, not quite yet. Got to stay up for a little bit yet, got a little bit way to go before it's bedtime. But no, seriously, that's actually an app on my phone that tells me when to go to bed. I'm not even joking. It's so cringe. It literally comes up saying it's bedtime. But at the moment, Champ still leading this race by 7 seconds over CMC. Gap's kind of just gone up a little bit. Not really too many battles going on at this point in the race. It's kind of just settled down the whole racing situation at this point. As the Nightbot is commenting in the YouTube stream there. Wonder why he's in chat tonight, to be fair. I don't even know why. Some streams that Nightbot appears like 10 or 15 times a stream, and then some streams it doesn't appear at all. I don't know what triggers it or what the factors are involved, but it just, sometimes it's there, sometimes it isn't. Oh, Nicky's lost it coming out of Spoon. Be careful guys, coming out of Spoon. JM Gruhl coming up on the scene, won't get there in time as Nicky's got it going once again already. Oh, Nicky had a bit of a moment there which would have dropped him about 5-10 seconds maybe. JM Gruhl behind Stage GT, only a couple of seconds behind JM Gruhl. At this point it's kind of dropped Nicky out of any contention of battling out with Richie for that P5. Champ still leads 7 seconds, his gap to CMC. He's just continuing to edge ahead of him. He's got a slight pace advantage over him as we've lost a driver here. Who have we lost from this race? Just looking on the timing board here, trying to understand who it is. It's Fulek who we've lost. Fulek's retired here on lap 6 of the race as the Nightbot once again chiming in, doing this job, telling us to get involved at www.motiveracing.com. Indeed, yes, definitely listen to Nightbot on that one, guys. Nicky still running it, it's still in the pits at the moment, as is JM Gruhl. Those two still haven't moved from their pit boxes at the moment. Champ coming through Spoon has got an 8-second lead over CMC. Simon Turner running in 3rd place in that final podium spot, has got a couple of seconds back to the Mutts Nuts. Those two, Simon and the Mutts Nuts, have both picked up penalties here in this one. So it's weird saying Simon and the Mutts Nuts. JM Gruhl's jumped Nicky in the pits. Oh no, unlucky for Nicky there. So JM Gruhl there doing a great job getting it stopped in record time, as those two have got Traven in the background there. So these three have all been in for their pit stops. This is now going to be a bit interesting there as we see Traven trying to go around the outside of Nicky there, but Nicky holding it on the inside. In fact, is Traven a lap down on Nicky? I think he might be, you know, because he didn't even though he clearly was overtook him momentarily there, he didn't actually gain the position on him. So I think Traven might be a lap down. He might be 2 laps down on the leaders. You've got JR in the comments saying Project Cars 2 delivering beautiful weather. The live track is amazing. It is, the way that the track evolves so realistically in comparison to what you would see in an actual race. It's it really is a sight to behold. It is, it really is, and it bridges the gap so well between being a casual sim racing game but also being serious as well. It's not like ACC, which is an ACC. I love the physics, and I think the way the car handles an ACC is absolutely fantastic. It's a little bit too serious for my liking though. It's just a little bit too like down to business. It's down to business. It's too down to business. ACC is too down to business. I want to enjoy myself as well. You know, but having said that, it's preference in it, and I do like ACC. I like both games, to be fair, but I just prefer Project Cars. Something about it is more enjoyable for me anyway. But JR saying the sun is going down. It is a little bit, yeah. It is starting to disappear behind the hills. Obviously, on this game, Suzuka is based in the mountains because they didn't actually have the copyright to do Suzuka on project cars. So it's a track called Sakito, and it's in the middle of what appears to be a bit of a mountain range. And as such, obviously, once the sun goes down, the light does dissipate by quite a bit. JR saying that love PC2, but it's 10 years old. Not quite that old, not yet. 4 years old, not 10. But I get your, I get your point. I get your point though. It's a little bit past its sell-by date, but to be fair, it keeps going, and it's, in my book, still relevant. It's got the best broadcast feature on PlayStation by a mile, which is obviously good for the streams. It's got a very friendly interface. The whole interactivity on it is second to none. A million times better than what you get on ACC at least. But you know, I like both games, as I say. I enjoy the drivability and the actual handling on ACC, but I think that Project Cars 2 for me is I just enjoy it more. It still beats the poo out of PC3, says JR. Anything beats PC3. Yeah, absolute dog wank, that game. I honestly
can't believe they did what they did. They wasted a really good opportunity.
Must have lost it. Must have lost it coming out of Degner 2. Yeah, Champ's about to put a lap on Nicky there. The Nuts we just saw losing it coming out of Degner 2 under the bridge. Champ here has managed to put a lap on Nicky there, and Nicky obviously oh no, he didn't put a lap on Nicky, sorry. He put a lap on Traven there, so Traven's a lap down on 2 laps down on Champ now, as Champ's about to put a lap on Nicky pretty shortly. Not really many battles going on, the pack very spread out at this point. It's important to remember in this race that Xmart, JM Gruhl, Nicky and Traven have all been into the pits, and nobody else has though. Or has Richie? I think Richie might have done, you know. Hold on, let me just double check. Let's rewind a little bit, that will give us some idea. I think Richie has been in, actually. I'm pretty sure he must have been. Richie did come in a couple of laps ago. I was even watching him coming into the pits. Short-term memory loss there for you guys, apologies. But Champ running in the lead still, 11 seconds he's got over CMC. It's mad, right? I remember who at some track like Algarve back in January, but I have no idea who pitted like 3 laps ago. There must be some kind of like diagnosis for that. I don't know what it is. Short-term memory loss, I guess. But at the moment, Champ still leading by 12 seconds. The Nuts into the pits to make his stop. I wonder if he'll be doing any damage repairs after that little skirmish that we saw with the wall on that last lap there. JR says Champ's an animal in these LMP2s. Pretty sure he came into the world out of an LMP2 exhaust. It wouldn't surprise me. He seems to be very familiar with them, doesn't he? To be fair. But yeah, it'd be like one of those characters from Cars. He is an LMP2 car. That's actually like he lives and breathes LMP2. But to be fair, he's cooking the LMP1s as well. Champ is a former champion in an LMP1 series. In fact, he is the LMP1 champion, because there never was a follow-up from the series at Rubbings Racing about 2-3 years ago. It must be now that he won the LMP1s at Rubbings Racing. And obviously the next season it changed to LMP2, so he kept that LMP1 title for eternity. And JR saying Champ the Transformer, absolutely, couldn't agree more with that one. Champ's former, yes. Champ's former, yes, that is good. But we got TMC in the pits at the moment to make his stop. Obviously was running 10 seconds behind Champ. The only real feasible challenger to Champ tonight, if Champ doesn't run into any major issues over the course of this one. But to be fair, even if he does, he might have this in hand anyway. Which TMC out of the pits. Simon Turner still yet to pit, running in P2, so TMC will move up into second once Simon Turner's been in. Stage GT, I think, has now been in, as far as I know. Maybe he hasn't. I think maybe everybody except Stage GT's been in. I believe that to be the case. I could be wrong, but I think everybody except Stage GT's been into the pits. Yeah, everybody except Stage GT's been in. So Stage GT still needs to come in at some point over the course of this race, as we're on lap 10 of 16 here. Champ leads by 24 seconds to Simon, as we've got a battle going on here. between the Mutsnuts and JM Grill. Look at this, JM Grill pretty close in towards turn 1, but the thing about the Mutsnuts here is that he's running just behind one of the leaders, I believe, which is Champ. So Champ gets through unscathed this time on the Mutsnuts. Champ will be breathing a sigh of relief on that one. Mutsnuts still yet to, no, he's already been in. It's Champ that's still yet to pit, so obviously Champ won't be a lap ahead of these guys once we get to the end of this race, or he might be, but not necessarily at this point in time. But Mutsnuts still running ahead of JM Grill. JM Grill trying to put that pressure on, get himself into P7 if he can. Traven is in the pits again. He must have a bit more damage on that car. He's clearly running to the wall at some point out there. Champ's Foamer, says JR. Yeah, little adjustment to that name. I'm liking these names. I think definitely that this could be a nickname going forward for Champ in these LMP2s. I reckon this one will stick for sure. Simon Turner's got a penalty that will obviously affect him a little bit once we get to the end. Hopefully for him it's not a major penalty, and he will get away relatively scot-free with any skirmish little advantages that he's gained by going off the track. But we got Mutsnuts also picked up a time penalty, so that will obviously drop him down a little bit. With JM Grill in close contention, that could make all the difference here in this race. He'll be hoping that his transgressions earlier on in this race don't come back to bite him by the time he gets to the checkered flag. But Simon Turner is driving a good race here in second place, and we're expecting that he might come out in the thick of it in the battle for the podium spots with Richie once he makes that pit stop. As we say, the time penalties could make all the difference here once we get to the end of this race. Champ hasn't got a time penalty though, neither is CMC. Richie's also without one. X-Mark's kept his nose clean as well, as has JM Grill, Nicky and Traven. So these guys have all kept it within the track limits. They've stuck to the rules. They've done this track exactly how you should do it, and obviously you've got to commend that, because those who play by the rules are ultimately the ones that you want to look to as the role models out on the track. And but you know, obviously mistakes happen, don't they? So yeah, that's life, and it's how you bounce back from those mistakes that define you and define who you are as a person. But right now, Simon Turner with that time penalty, as is the Mutsnuts, but I'm sure that they'll still have a good result in this regardless. Richie could be about to jump Simon Turner in the pits. We still don't know, as Simon hasn't been in to make that pit stop. So Simon Turner and Stage GT still yet to make their stops. Rambling a little bit now, not too much going on. The Mutsnuts still got about a second back to JM Grill. The X-Mark's within a second of Stage. Look at this. This could be a position change going on down the start-finish straight, as now X-Mark's got a lovely toe. Stage ducks to the inside to defend his position. Up towards turn 1 they come. As is X-Mark going to complete that move? Yes, he does, and Stage breaks very early. In the end, X-Mark gets himself up into P5. Got a comment coming in, but it hasn't shown up on my computer yet. Champ is in the pits. Oh, he didn't have enough fuel in the car. No, he hadn't pitted. Yeah, no, he hadn't pitted. Oh my god. Having said that, though, he's only got 14 litres in. Although I know he's about to start the next lap. I thought he had 5 laps left. He doesn't. I think he has 4 laps, so he should be all right for fuel. So Champ re-emerges in the lead. Simon Turner also coming in. Now the big question here is Simon Turner going to come out ahead of Richie in the battle for the final podium spot? Champ is already off and away, and he's well clear of CMC, who's running in that second once Simon has come in. Simon's in the box right now as we speak, as JR in the comments has put an emoji of a pen. Okay. Or is it? I don't even know, to be fair. What is that? Yeah, he's put an emoji of a pen there, so clearly some kind of contractual hint there being put up in the comments. So yeah, don't know what that's about. But Simon Turner comes out in 4th, so he comes out behind Richie. Richie holding on to that final podium spot for the time. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, JR follows that up with thinking of sending Champ a contract. Couldn't have guessed it. But at the moment, 10 seconds. Yeah, no, Champ doesn't sign anything. He's basically a very unilateral fella, is Champ. He doesn't like to go with anybody else's, jump on board anyone else's boat. He's very much a captain of his own ship. He's the founder of Champ Incorporated is Champ. He did have one person under his ranks at one point, under the name of Sub-Zero, but I don't know what happened to him. He kind of just disappeared off the face of the earth one day, back when a load of turds hit the fan. But yeah, a lot of people disappeared off the face of the earth. It's almost like they didn't. It's almost like they didn't get what they wanted, so they all ran off and threw their toys out the pram. But anyway, the Mutts Nuts, JM Gould and Nicky running within about a couple of seconds of all three of them at this point. So this is looking like it could be an interesting battle raging on here for 7th place.
I'm 2 seconds behind Simon. Sorry, 3 seconds. And he's got a 2-second penalty, so I need to get within a second of him to nick his 4th place spot.
Yeah, you're really closing in on him here. Looks like Simon could be under the cosh a little bit from Xmart. We're going to keep an eye also on this battle here between JM Gould and Nicky. And Nicky looks really close here, coming up towards 130R. He will definitely have a bit of a toe coming down the start-finish straight. But the big question is, has JM Gould got low downforce on, or is Nicky going to be able to use the straight line speed to his advantage? We have flat out round the final right-hander on the track and out onto the start-finish straight. That was a hiccup, we calm it. Here we go. Is Nicky going to be able to make this move in towards turn 1? He's going to get a lovely toe, but he's not going to be quite close enough coming into turn 1. And in the end, JM Gould's going to hold on to that position for the time being. Stage GT into the pits. He's got a cracked windscreen there, so that would be a bit of a pain to see there for him. But Champ still leading by 26 seconds at the moment. Champ has only got 8 litres of fuel and could be a close run thing here, as Xmart's lost the car and he's dropped a little bit off the back of Simon Turner there. That could have put a nail in Xmart's chances of taking 4th place here in this race. He's got a 4-second gap back to the Mutts Nuts though, so he should be safe there. JR saying as many gummy bears and hula hoops as he can eat. Bless you. Oh, it wasn't a sneeze, it was a hiccup. But at the moment, JM Gould still running ahead of Nicky at the moment. These two pretty close, tied at the hip here, battling it out over 7th place. Nicky's still unable to find a way through, but he's really putting the pressure on JM Gould, trying to force him into a little bit of a mistake if he can. If you can try and throw temptation into JM Gould's path and cause him to have a little slip up and cause him to mess up and punish him for it. There we go, look at that. Oh, but he just holds it there. JM Gould there, bit alert and alive to what was going on there, and managed to hold on to it just about at the last minute, just as it looked like he might be about to lose the position. He just saved it. But Nicky there still on the back of him, looking to try and probe and push if he can, as we saw Nicky getting a little bit onto the cross there. Oh no, oh my god, oh, Nicky's lost it. JM Gould is able to continue his way. They both lost it. They both lost it. But then Nicky, in response to JM Gould, there kind of just got out of it a little bit, distracted him a bit, and unfortunately there, Nicky dropping off the back of JM Gould. JM Gould looks like he could be safe and secure in that
Simon's
7th place spot now.
Well, I've got a lap to catch him. Sorry to go over talk you there.
No, by all means, mate, by all means, keep me posted with what's going on. Simon Turner could be about to lose P4 here. He's got a 1 second penalty swing, which goes in favour of Xmart. So Xmart only needs to get within 1 second off Simon Turner to take P4. Simon Turner could be on a bit of a knife edge here. We know he's got enough of a gap to Xmart at this point, but one little mistake and that could definitely swing the balance a little bit. JR says, won't smile, won't take a bless you. Cold shoulder here indeed. Yeah, unfortunately you're getting the cold treatment here. It's not a nice place to be. I'm joking obviously, but Champ running in the lead of the race. No, I wouldn't give anyone a cold shoulder. I like to give people the warm shoulder, whatever that is. But right now, Champ leading this race. He's got half an lap left to go here. 30 seconds he's got over CMC. A dominant drive from this man. Should have really taken the win in the first race, but got caught up with a back marker, which was obviously a bit of an unfortunate incident there, which may be investigated after the race if Champ puts in the inquiry. He sent me to the footage, so the stewards will have a look at that over the course of this next week, as Champ coming into Spoon Curve. A massive gap he's got out here at the front. But JR, no, I'm sorry, I won't. Well, I actually, for all you know, I was smiling. I've been smiling this entire time. I've had a big fat grin on my face since the start. But here is Champ in towards 130R, 2 corners to go, and it's going to be another win here for the championship leader. He's going to extend his gap at the top of the points, and it's going to be looking like a pretty much a one-way affair here in this LMP2 title race. Champ comes up towards the line, a flash of lights from him. He takes the win in the feature as he slows the car right down here, and it's going to just cruise over the line. Does a little burnout there as he takes the checkered flag. Well done, Champ. What a win. CMC is coming out of Spoon Curve now, a long way behind, but Champ really was dominant here in this feature race and rights the wrongs of the sprint race, where it all went horribly wrong, to say the least, in the closing laps after having that one pretty much under his control. We've got CMC coming in towards the final corner, and he's going to take a second place here in this race. Obviously had the pace in the qualifying. In the first qualifying was on pole position for the first race, but the second race did not go to plan for him. CMC takes second place. Richie's going to come out of the final corner here, and it's going to be a podium spot for Richie. Not too bad for him in terms of the point standings as he comes up towards the line. Are we going to get a flash of the lights from Richie? No, unfortunately not. But Richie crosses the line in third place. Good drive from Richie here tonight. Simon Turner is going to come around the final corner now. He's got 3 seconds back to X-Mart. This could be close, you know, but I think that Simon's just got the legs, unless he's picked up another penalty that we haven't seen yet. Has he got a bit more damage that he hasn't told us about? Let's see as he comes up towards the line.
Done it.
He's done it. X-Mart gets him. X-Mart nicks it there on the last lap and gets himself up into P4. X-Mart's going to be chuffed to bits with that one as he gains an extra couple of points in his championship. Simon Turner will be, I'm sure, extremely disappointed with that one. It comes over in 5th. The Mustnut 6th. JM Gruhl finishes the race in 7th place. And that is all she wrote then for the LMP2s tonight. That's your lot. That's JM Gruhl. Nicky in 8th. Traven looks like he pulled out there at the end stage. Finished in 9th place. And that is that then for the feature race. Big thank you to JR as well, to Sebas, BT. Unfortunately that you disconnected from the feature race. Champ also in the comments as well. Hopefully you guys who are racing tonight enjoyed that little commentary and enjoyed the action, and hopefully I did that justice. Cheers, boys. Also, big thank you to Nicky and X-Mart for joining me in the box and for sitting with me in the party and listening to my ramblings.
Great job, Andy.
Listening to the usual ramblings of a listening to the usual ramblings of a madman commentating to a 3-man crowd on YouTube. But yeah, thanks everybody.
The Murray Walker of sim racing.
The Murray Walker of sim racing. Yeah, absolutely, like completely out of my depth. Don't know what I'm talking about, but anyway. Thank you everybody, and hopefully you guys do enjoy watching this back. Those who are racing. If by some sort of miracle you weren't racing and are actually watching this as a form of Saturday night entertainment, please go to www.motiveracing.com. Cheers everyone. Yeah, if you got this far, then you must be tempted.
I'm gonna shoot off.